We've all heard that tourism is down in Las Vegas, but it's not just fewer visitors on the Las Vegas Strip or in downtown. It also means fewer customers of businesses around the valley that depend on tourists for their bottom line.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars. Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead for the U.S. economy.
The number of people visiting Las Vegas is continuing its downward trend. We thank you for joining us on 8 News Now at 4 on this Friday. I'm Brian Loft.
If you drive past the Strip at night, it still looks like classic Vegas, bright, loud, and alive. But the moment you start walking, you notice something's different. There's too much space on the sidewalks, the noise feels thinner, and there's this strange quiet hiding under all the neon. You can't explain it, but you feel it instantly. The Strip isn't dead, it's just not the same firecracker it used to be. Locals felt this shift long before any official report confirmed it. Dealers started seeing empty seats during hours that used to be packed. Bartenders noticed their steady lines fading. Pit bosses, who can read a room better than anyone, picked up on something missing. The buzz, the laughter, the energy that made Vegas feel like it was running on electricity. You don't need numbers to tell you when a city's heartbeat changes. Living here is enough. And then the reports arrived. Tourism down for the 6th month straight. A little over 3 million visitors came, but the city felt like it had lost far more than that. Complaints started flooding in about prices, resort fees, parking charges, even drink prices that make you double-check the receipt. One tourist summed it up in a brutally honest line. Vegas is too expensive, and honestly, it smells bad. Harsh? Definitely, but thousands agreed. But here's the weird part. While fewer people are coming, casinos are making more money. That didn't make sense to anyone until a certain CEO said the quiet part out loud. During an earnings call, thinking no one outside the investor circle was paying attention, a major casino executive casually admitted they were removing the lowest tier of customers. Just like that, no hesitation, no backtracking, as if it was the most normal thing in the world to say. Another CEO repeated the same idea a week later, just dressed up in nicer words. They weren't going after budget travelers anymore. They wanted high-value visitors. In plain English, if you're not wealthy, the modern Strip isn't really built for you. And that shift didn't just affect tourists. It cut into the lives of workers who were Vegas. Dealers had their hours cut. Servers watched their tips collapse. Tables once full of weekend gamblers sat half empty. For a city that depends on volume, on people, this transformation is shaking the foundation. The Vegas people fell in love with, the one with $5 blackjack, cheap buffets, and the feeling that anyone could be somebody for one night. That version is slipping into the background. Today's Vegas is still fun, sure, but it feels gated, heavier, more selective, as if the Strip is testing you before it lets you have a good time. Anyone who grew up here remembers the old eras, the opening of the Mirage, the recession in 2008, the way the city went completely silent in 2020. Vegas always fought its way back by embracing the people. But this time, the challenge isn't a pandemic or an economic crash. It's something internal. The Strip is choosing to shrink its own audience. And then came the new tax rule, the one gamblers call phantom taxes. Imagine being taxed on winnings you never actually kept. That's what's happening. High-volume players are losing millions in deductions. Derek Stevens, who owns several downtown properties, warned that this system is pushing major players away from Vegas entirely. Some are moving their bankrolls to online platforms, others overseas. Stack that on top of rising room prices, parking fees, resort fees, and drink prices. And Vegas starts to feel less like an escape and more like a financial obstacle course. And the numbers back it all up. Visitor rates dropped 11% in June. That's 1.5 million of fewer people in the first half of the year. Gaming revenue slipped 4%, slots fell 5%. Baccarat, which used to be the crown jewel for whales, fell over 10%. But the biggest clue isn't the loss, it's the movement. Laughlin is booming, up 17% in gaming revenue. Mesquite is climbing too, almost 10%. These smaller towns didn't change their formula. They stuck to the basics: fair prices, friendly service, no nonsense. The same values Vegas used to celebrate. Even the off-strip casinos, Red Rock, Green Valley Ranch, the Boyd properties are thriving. They're the ones that still feel authentic, where you can walk in wearing sandals and not feel judged. And then there's the online gambling wave, nearly $1.9 billion in a single month. That's not a blip. That's a shift. When people realize they can get better odds, cheaper drinks, and zero resort fees from their couch, the Strip starts to lose its charm. The phrase floating around town now is, "Vegas lost the middle." A waitress at the Flamingo explained it better than any analyst ever could. She said weekdays now feel like someone turned the sound off. Her tips fell, her hours shrank, and the regulars she served for years just disappeared. The average visitor, the backbone of Vegas, is gone. And the high rollers alone can't replace them. Rich gamblers can go anywhere: Singapore, Macau, Monaco. Vegas never won them with exclusivity. It won them with energy. That mix of everyday people and big players, that was the magic formula. Without it, the city feels off balance. But one resort decided to test a different theory. Resorts World rolled back resort fees, brought back free parking, and actually lowered some room prices. And guess what? People rushed back. Bookings jumped, word spread. Suddenly, Vegas fans were excited again. Then convention attendance picked up, more than 10% in May, a small sign, but a meaningful one. It proved something important. Vegas doesn't need to reinvent itself as a luxury fortress. It needs to remember who built it. Because the Strip wasn't born from exclusivity, it was born from possibility. From the idea that luck didn't care how much you earned, or what you wore, or where you came from. Right now, the City of Lights is facing a crossroads. It can double down on the high roller strategy, or it can reconnect with the millions of dreamers who made Vegas a legend. Because when those people leave, the lights still shine. But they shine over silence. And the workers feel that silence in every tip, every slow shift, every empty table. Behind those glowing billboards and high-end lounges are workers feeling the weight of that shift. Bartenders who once thrived on busy weekends now bring home half their usual tips. Dealers stand at half-empty tables, hoping for players who never arrive. Cab drivers circle the airport longer than ever, waiting for fares that used to line up without pause. For them, the silence feels personal. The Las Vegas of 2025 is far more expensive than the city people remember. Cheap buffets and discounted rooms have vanished, replaced by experiences that cost hundreds. Journalists and longtime residents say this transformation reflects an effort to evolve, to move beyond gambling into entertainment and luxury. But the evolution hasn't come without loss. Many locals say the heart of Vegas, the sense that anyone could belong there, is slipping away. For those working in the city, the transformation feels more tangible. A waitress at the Flamingo says weekends still bring some life to the Strip, but by Tuesday, it's as if someone flipped a switch. Her shifts have shortened, her tips have dropped, and her regular customers, once reliable faces every few months, have stopped returning. She summed it up simply: "It feels like we lost the middle. Vegas hasn't died, but something inside it is shifting." And the question echoing through every neon reflection is simple: has Las Vegas evolved, or has it lost itself? Let me know what you think in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.